In our previous video, we posed a tricky question: how is measles primarily transmitted? And the correct answer is measles spreads when an infected person coughs or sneezes, releasing the virus into the air. The virus can survive in the air for up to 2 hours, infecting those without immunity. If you answered correctly, congratulations! And if not, don't worry today. We continue our journey into the fascinating world of the heart. That small organ, no bigger than your fist, which has been beating tirelessly for decades. Are you ready? Let's begin. Which of the following habits best supports heart health? Just 30 minutes of brisk walking per day lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and significantly boosts heart health. Regular exercise reduces the risk of heart disease by 30–40%. Which food is best for heart health? Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and help stabilize heart rhythm. Eating fatty fish twice a week can lower heart disease risk by up to 20%. What does brisk daily walking do for the heart? Can you guess it? Leave your answer in the comments. We'll reveal it in the next video. What is the main role of the coronary arteries? Coronary arteries are vital blood vessels that surround the heart, responsible for supplying oxygen-rich blood and nutrients to the heart muscle itself so it can function effectively. What is a normal resting heart rate for an adult? A normal resting heart rate for a healthy adult usually ranges from 60 to 100 beats per minute. Abnormally high or low heart rates can be a sign of health problems. Which of the following is not a major risk factor for cardiovascular disease? Sufficient vegetable intake is a healthy habit for cardiovascular health, helping to reduce the risk of heart disease, not a risk factor. Other risk factors include smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity. Heart patients should most limit intake of which nutrient? Saturated fats, like animal fat and coconut oil, raise LDL, bad cholesterol, and increase the risk of arterial plaque. AHA recommends keeping saturated fats under 6% of daily calories. What is the recommended daily sodium limit to protect the heart? The AHA advises keeping sodium intake below 2,300 mg per day, about 1 teaspoon of salt. For people with high blood pressure or heart disease, 1,500 mg per day is the target. What is the recommended LDL, bad cholesterol level, to prevent heart disease? High LDL leads to plaque buildup in arteries, increasing the risk of blockage and heart attacks. Keeping LDL under 100 mg per deciliter is ideal for the general population. Heart patients may need even lower targets. What is the leading cause of heart disease in older adults? Long-term high blood pressure damages blood vessels and makes the heart work harder. According to the CDC, nearly 70% of adults over 65 have high blood pressure, the #1 contributor to heart failure, stroke, and heart attacks. Which blood pressure range is considered pre-hypertension? Pre-hypertension is an early stage when blood pressure isn't high yet, but is at risk of rising. It's the ideal time to make lifestyle changes like cutting salt, staying active, and sleeping well. Why should older adults regularly monitor their heart rate? Many heart rhythm issues like AFib show no clear symptoms but increase the risk of stroke or heart failure. Regular monitoring helps with early detection and timely treatment. Which is the correct way to measure blood pressure at home? Blood pressure fluctuates with movement and emotions. To get accurate results, you should sit still for 5 minutes, avoid talking, and avoid caffeine beforehand. What effect does heavy alcohol use have on the heart? Chronic alcohol use can lead to alcoholic cardiomyopathy, where the heart muscle weakens and stretches, reducing blood pumping efficiency, a path to chronic heart failure. Which habit helps reduce the risk of heart failure? Diabetes increases the risk of blood vessel and heart muscle damage. Proper blood sugar control can reduce heart failure risk by up to 30% compared to poorly managed diabetes. Atrial fibrillation increases the risk of which of the following? Atrial fibrillation can cause blood to pool in the heart, forming blood clots. If a clot travels to the brain, it may cause a serious stroke. People with AFib have a 5x higher stroke risk than average. What should you do first if you have chest pain, angina? Chest pain may signal an approaching heart attack. Staying calm, resting, and calling for help immediately can be life-saving. Why are older adults at higher risk for heart failure? The heart works non-stop for decades. With age, heart valves, muscles, and vessels may stiffen or weaken, especially in those with conditions like hypertension or diabetes. What is an early sign of congestive heart failure? Heart failure weakens the heart's ability to pump blood, leading to fluid buildup in the legs and chronic tiredness, especially when lying flat. These subtle signs are your body's quiet alarm. Which symptom is an early warning sign of a heart attack? A pressure-like chest pain spreading to the shoulder, neck, or left arm is a classic heart attack sign. Don't ignore it. 1 in 3 patients over 60 may only feel fatigue, cold sweats, or shortness of breath. Why is a silent heart attack dangerous? Silent heart attacks have no obvious symptoms, so they often go unnoticed. But heart muscle damage still occurs and can lead to heart failure or sudden death if undetected. What is the most serious, long-term complication of uncontrolled high blood pressure? Chronic hypertension damages blood vessels and heart muscle, leading to stroke, heart failure, or sudden death. According to WHO, nearly 10 million deaths yearly are linked to high blood pressure. Which type of cholesterol is considered good and helps protect heart health? HDL, high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, helps remove bad cholesterol, LDL, from the arteries, transporting it back to the liver for elimination from the body. High HDL levels reduce the risk of heart disease. The DASH diet is recommended for managing heart disease, focusing on what? The DASH, dietary approaches to stop hypertension, diet focuses on reducing sodium and increasing fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and low-fat dairy products, aiming to control blood pressure and heart health. How does chronic stress affect cardiovascular health? Chronic stress can lead to increased blood pressure, elevated heart rate, and chronic inflammation in the body, all of which are risk factors for cardiovascular disease. Which of the following symptoms is a sign of coronary artery disease, CAD? Coronary artery disease often manifests as angina, especially with exertion or stress, due to narrowed or blocked heart arteries. How often should older adults have routine heart checkups, if asymptomatic? Even without symptoms, adults over 60 should get heart checkups at least every 6 months to detect early issues like arrhythmias, hypertension, or valve disease. It can extend life and improve well-being. Why is quitting smoking extremely important for heart health? Quitting smoking has a rapid positive impact on cardiovascular health. Immediately after quitting, blood pressure and heart rate begin to drop, and the risk of heart attack significantly decreases within a few years. What is metabolic syndrome, and how does it affect the heart? Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of risk factors, such as abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, low HDL cholesterol, and high triglycerides that occur together, significantly increasing the risk of developing cardiovascular disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. What is the role of low-dose aspirin in preventing cardiovascular disease? Low-dose aspirin has an antiplatelet effect, helping to thin the blood and reduce the risk of blood clot formation, thereby lowering the risk of heart attack and stroke in high-risk individuals or those with a history of heart disease. How does sleep apnea affect cardiovascular health? Sleep apnea causes repeated episodes of oxygen deprivation at night, increasing stress on the heart and blood vessels, leading to a higher risk of high blood pressure, arrhythmias, heart attack, and stroke. Which of the following symptoms is most common in women during a heart attack? Women may experience less typical heart attack symptoms than men, often including fatigue, shortness of breath, nausea, and pain in the back, jaw, or right arm. Recognizing these symptoms is crucial for timely treatment. What is an echocardiogram used for? An echocardiogram uses sound waves to create detailed images of the heart's structure and function, including chamber size, valve function, and the heart's pumping ability. Which of the following conditions can lead to dilated cardiomyopathy? Viral infections can be a leading cause of dilated cardiomyopathy, a condition where the heart muscle becomes weakened and enlarged, reducing its ability to pump blood effectively. When is an electrocardiogram (ECG, EKG) recommended? An electrocardiogram is an important test that records the electrical activity of the heart, helping to detect issues such as arrhythmias, myocardial ischemia, a sign of heart attack, or other abnormalities in heart function. It is usually recommended when symptoms are present or when a doctor suspects a heart problem. Congratulations, you've completed the quiz. Here are your results. What's your level? Drop it in the comments below. Maybe today you've learned something new. Maybe you'll call your doctor to schedule a checkup. Or maybe you'll simply start walking 30 minutes each morning. Whatever it is, it's a beginning, and your heart is grateful for that. Share this video with someone you love. See you in the next video.